If you've heard about Bitcoin, there is a great chance that you've heard about mining too. The possibility to create money using just your computer. Well, nowadays things are not quite so. Stay with me in this video to see what Bitcoin mining really is and what mining possibilities you have. Hello there and welcome to my channel. My name is Christina and today we talk about Bitcoin mining. This is the second of a 6-video series regarding Bitcoin. In this series we also cover what is this digital asset, nodes, Lightning Network, how to buy and how to store Bitcoin. If you haven't done it yet, be sure to subscribe to my channel and activate notifications so you'll be the first to find out when the next video is up. So, what is Bitcoin mining? As mentioned in the previous video, Bitcoin is based on a public, decentralized ledger where transactions are recorded in batches of information called blocks. The process of writing new blocks to the ledger is called mining. Because the system is decentralized, the ledger of transactions, also known as blockchain, has to update in all copies from the network. In order to do that, there are certain requirements that need to be satisfied. But before we see these requirements, let's answer another question. What problems does mining solve? In the current financial system, there is a central authority, the bank, that validates every transaction. If you want to buy something using your credit card, the bank verifies if you have the needed amount in your account, and it has some security filters in order to validate that it is you who has made the request. It also has to decrease your balance and send your request over a network. All approvals are internal. No other bank has the ability to fully validate your requests or your transactions. Well, the same verifications need to be done over the Bitcoin network. But there is no central authority to validate the requests, adjust the balances, and update the ledger. There are a multitude of users spread all around the world that have to do these tasks. A computer that does a series of verifications regarding a transaction and is able to write the next block of transactions in the public ledger is what we call a miner. Mining is a very important and integral part of Bitcoin, as it is a way to keep the transactions honest and the network safe, secure, and stable. So mining has two main purposes. First is a trusted way to confirm transactions. Secondly, mining is a way to create new bitcoins. When a miner adds a new block to the ledger, he gets a reward in terms of new bitcoins issued. In order to understand how mining works, we have to understand two small concepts: hash functions and proof of work. In simple words, a hash is a cryptographic mathematical function that converts data of any length into a fixed length string of random characters. Even the smallest change in the original set of data, the input, entirely changes the hash, the output. A proof of work is a method used to ensure that creating a piece of data is difficult, expensive, and time-consuming in order to meet certain requirements. At the same time, it should be extremely easy to check if the created data meets the requirements. More specifically, the Bitcoin network uses the Hashcash proof of work. Mining is expensive in terms of equipment and electricity, and it is time-consuming. On the other hand, a Bitcoin node can easily check and validate a new block. So, how does mining work? Well, every miner starts with a set of transactions combined in a block. To this transaction, he adds the hash header of the previous block and a nonce. A nonce is simply a random number that he will increment every time he makes a check. Then the miner makes a hash of all this data and check if his hash is smaller than a target value. The target number is a 256-bit number. It means you can write it in binary in a string of 256 zeros and ones. On the other hand, in decimal system, a 256 Bitcoin number is actually a number between 0 and 2 to the power 256. This is huge. But you have to understand that the smaller this target value is, the more zero it has at the beginning of its binary form. This is why you might hear that the hash of the miner has to start with a certain amount of zeros. If a miner's hash is not lower than the target value, then he increments the nonce, makes the hash again, makes the check again, until his check is true. Once he finds a hash that is lower than the target value, we say that the miner has solved the proof of work. But in order to be allowed to write his block in the blockchain and get the reward, he has to be the first to obtain this number. What about mining difficulty? We define mining difficulty by how costly it is to find a hash below the target value in the proof of work. The lower the number, the bigger the mining difficulty. But why is that? Because the average mining time for Bitcoin is like a standard. The target value in the proof of work is recalculated every 2016 blocks. This is around 2 weeks. And that's because the average mining time should remain just 10 minutes. But many people still ask, how can I mine Bitcoin? Well, you have a few choices, even if you are a regular user. Okay, the very first option is to buy equipment yourself. If I was clear enough about how mining works, then you know that you can mine Bitcoin even now with your computer. Still, this is not feasible because you have very small chance and you're going to consume high electricity. Nowadays, people mine Bitcoin on ASICs. This is hardware specially created for Bitcoin mining, but there is nothing else you can do using that piece of hardware, that super powerful computer, because that's dedicated entirely to Bitcoin mining. With ASICs or hardware that you buy, you also have one more problem to solve, and that is cooling. Powerful computers produce a lot of heat and you have to cool them down in order to keep your equipment working. But if you live or move to the North or South Pole, you probably won't have this problem. Another option to mine Bitcoin is by using Bitcoin cloud mining. Basically, you pay for a cloud service that mines Bitcoin for you. As main advantage, you don't have to deal with hardware equipment, heat, noise, system maintenance, and so on. As disadvantage, you have lower profits, and you have to find a really trusted providers, as many cloud mining services are susceptible to fraud. The last mining possibility that I'm going to tell you about is mining pools. A mining pool represents a group of miners that have chosen to combine their computing power. Once a pool discovers a new block, the reward is split between its members. Each one receives bitcoins according to the power he has contributed with. Large number of blocks are discovered through mining pools or big companies. This is why it is quite difficult for a regular user to be mining Bitcoin in a feasible way. This is all for the second video in this Bitcoin series. I really hope the information here was clear and useful for you. If you have any sort of questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comment section below. If you have enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up so I know you liked it, and help me spread the information about the crypto market by sharing this video with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications so you will instantly know when the next video is up. My name is Christina, thank you for watching.